stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call us up making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team around took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Foyesade Aluakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. What a play that turns out to be. 36 yards. Jackson from the shotgun. He Finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. Quick pass out to Miller. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the year.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complementary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll give to Williams, running right. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a first down on a gain of 10. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Like 180!
On first down, Allen. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
You're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance. We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. And you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I'd like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's fourth down. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
A gain of 3, second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Williams. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
Mike! Check back. Tight to the right, boy. Tight to the right.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with Pollard. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. A 3rd field goal of the 1st half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. They'll find Miller. That's complete. 3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Pollard going to try the right side. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. The extra point splits the uprights, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Jackson now down around his goal line. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball, and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field? That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out there.
Exactly.
But the 9 picks,
you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. So after the INT, it's Allen. He's going to take a shot right away. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And, man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catchers. The fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
On first down, it's Harris. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 13. Jackson going up top for Miller. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Jackson. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Play action. Now Jackson. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. A final shot before half for Allen. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 50-yard line.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Again, it's Williams. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Tackle made by the 2nd-round pick, Isaiah Oliver.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Harris. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
But that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. He rifles one that's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away.
Well, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football.
Brings up 2nd and 12.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They run it again with Williams. And this is going to be back-to-back tackles for a loss here as the Falcons defense yet again drops him behind the line. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Here we go, D. All day. Defense, all day. All day.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Lane. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. On first down, Williams. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. A quick throw complete to Washington. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On 2nd and goal, standing alone in the backfield is Williams. He's going to get it running right. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now.
38, Falcons 9.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what against symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing is Jackson. Open man is Howard to tight end. The ball comes out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he's got some space here. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower postgame. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
All right, T, let's hang on. Check 9, check 9. He's checking. Crash.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
35 to the mic. Hey, watch the slant. Shift. Watch the shift. 36.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's got Miller. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Jackson. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. A big play there on the catch and run. 34 yards. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
2nd and inches at the 13-yard line.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning.
Switch it. Come on.
On 2nd down now, it's Harris. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And Allen is actually going to throw it here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lane. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards on the play, first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now Allen. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. Allen. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility. And that's caught inside the 30. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept